What's up, squad? This is Brandon from the Bantu Sun. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, I was just reading an article about some of the issues going down and the mounting death toll of the conflict of Ethiopia, primarily right now in the Amhara region. Now, Ethiopia is a very interesting place because it is somewhat what I will call an empire. Now, the Amharas are a sizable group. They're not the largest ethnic group in the country. That'd be the Oromos in the west southwest region. The Amharas is more of the top tier, or historically a top tier, or accomplished ethnic groups within the country. Even one of the government languages is Amharic. They enjoy a great status within Ethiopia, basically. But Ethiopia is an empire. I said it because this is where three worlds meet, right? And it's going to be your Somalis, Amharas, and Oromos primarily. But we have some videos on this going into great detail on these three worlds colliding, and the way that Ethiopia has dealt with this is it has gave great autonomy to its regions, right? Because obviously these groups don't want to be governed by other groups. They figure you get your group in power, you're going to hire all your friends from your group, and your group is going to get exceptional privileges. This is what a lot of inter-tribal, inter-ethnic fighting is about in various countries, is because they're scared one side is going to get elected and they're only going to benefit their tribe. They're just going to hire people from their tribe or from their ethnic group. And what Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has done, which I think has to be done, it has to be done, and that is going to be, it has to be a situation where the country has to unify under a federal authority. Now, I don't like that concept. I'm not for or against. It's not for me to be for or against. But what I am saying, if Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sees Ethiopia as a power, which it is and should be in its own right within Africa, right? Ethiopia has great roots, great history, a rich roots, rich history, deep culture. So if Ethiopia is to be a voice in Africa, and Africa needs a voice, I assure you, Africa is in a perilous, perilous situation. In Ethiopia is one of the standout actors in this perilous situation. Prime Minister Abiy has probably been one of the most capable leaders I've seen in modern Africa, all things considered. Um, but you can tell he has a vision for who his country is and where it needs to get to. And he's getting a lot of resistance because the various regions don't trust his leadership. They don't trust the federal power, and this has caused a lot of conflict. Now, in the Amhara region, they have fighters. They're called Fano fighters. These are traditionally what you would call, I don't want to use the word militia, but they've been, let's say, freedom fighters for the Amhara people. And they keep running into conflict with the Ethiopian National Defense Forces. But at the end of the day, the question is, what do you want Prime Minister Abiy to do? He has no choice. He's moving Ethiopia forward. I just did a video. They got the stock market back up and running. They looking at market liberalization. They got control over the dam, which I thought was very impressive. It shows you how strong some of these African countries are. They can be threatened. They can be maligned, but they cannot be suppressed. And when these countries move, they are too big and strong to be suppressed, despite what they may think. Because it shows Egypt huffed and puffed, and they were very intimidating in their direction of not doing anything with the dam. And what happened? Ethiopia went forward with it, and nobody laid a hand on Ethiopia. They didn't send fighter jets in or bombers from the Middle East. The Egyptians didn't send tanks down there. Ethiopia had its way, and they got their damn done. Even the Americans could not stop the Ethiopians from getting their damn set up. So, and that's the case. Don't forget, Ethiopia was a country. It's difficult geography. It was never conquered. It was never colonized. So this is another great reason that I think Ethiopia feels itself to a certain degree because they were able to maintain their independence and they have a historic continuity within the land. So I'm gonna keep watching out. This is a developing story. It's very interesting and unfortunate at the same time. But the unfortunate part, I think, is many of these countries, their leaders are the driving force, unfortunately. Unlike the West, usually the leaders in the West don't matter as much. I can tell you, I can tell you the president of Switzerland. Switzerland is a phenomenally successful country. Phenomenally successful country. I can tell you the president. These presidents, like I can tell you of President Kagame in Rwanda, Museveni in Uganda. I can tell you about Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. These leaders, they are leaders for a long period of time, and it's really, I think, it's dangerous because you don't have that consistency, or you don't have fairness. If your movement is one individual, it's not a movement. It's a cult. It's a cult. So what I'm basically saying is, I hope that the Ethiopian spirit is one of uniting in the long term for bigger and better things as a whole, as a country, and that this just isn't a flashpoint with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. He's setting the culture for Ethiopian leadership and Ethiopia unity down the line. So hopefully this conflict comes to a quick halt. Who's to say what's the case going to be? But definitely watching Ethiopia because this thing do have, unfortunately, has the ability to flare up in a very bad, unfortunate way. But hopefully it resolves itself under the best conditions possible for all parties involved. So if you have any insight, please comment below. If you have any thoughts, I'd like to hear them as well. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Until next time, take care. Bantu up.